The film begins in a dimly lit room where the host has abducted a girl and tied her to a chair because she lost a game and now must be executed. This gruesome game is being streamed live on the dark web, where the audience finds entertainment in watching such horrific acts. On the table in front of the host, 3 different weapons are displayed. The host announces to the viewers that whoever sends the highest amount of money will get to choose which weapon he should use to kill the girl. A female viewer transfers $500 and demands that the girl be killed with a chain. Without hesitation, the perpetrators mercilessly pick up the chain and brutally execute the girl in front of the live audience. This section establishes the shocking premise of the story. Meanwhile, Sam, an undercover investigator, immediately informs the police about the illegal game. The police raid the location, but they only find 2 individuals. As they search further, they discover a lone child inside a container, while the rest of the criminals manage to escape before the police arrive. Later, Ben Thakara, a detective, receives intel that the game is about to restart. He rushes to the police station, where officers are already watching the live stream on the dark web. The game is being hosted by an anonymous presenter who has so far managed to evade capture. This time, 2 individuals have been kidnapped and are being held for the next gruesome round of the game. This segment reveals the extent of the presenter's crimes, exposing how he kidnaps people illegally and exploits them for the twisted entertainment of dark web users. Meanwhile, Kathia is preparing to leave for home when her colleague, Sophia, stops her. It is Kathia's first day at the job, and Sophia insists they spend some time together. Kathia explains that her mother and son are waiting for her at home. However, after Sophia's insistence, she agrees to stay for a quick drink, and the 2 engage in a conversation. The same script is described in detail. The presenter had ordered his associates to knock Katia unconscious. Katia was kidnapped and taken to a deserted place where she was attacked and rendered unconscious. Later, she was brought to the location where the presenter was hosting his show. Upon regaining consciousness, Katia panicked but was unable to escape. A man showed her a knife, warning her to remain silent and threatening that if she made any noise, she would be taken down with a taser gun. Katia was distressed and worried about her son and mother, who were waiting for her. This section focuses on the difficulties in arresting the dark web presenter. The issue was that the presenter had published cut-and-paste videos of people on his account. Later, emphasis was placed on how people from the dark web were to be caught, a skill the presenter was well versed in. He displayed videos of captured individuals on his show and talked about the program. There was also a suggestion that some informants could help in capturing the presenter, but hopes had already faded because this person was the most powerful figure in the dark web, making his capture nearly impossible. It was also revealed that the presenter was aware of the police chasing him, so he always had backups to avoid capture. In the end, a sense of despair was expressed. The next day's news showed how the gang was still killing people, while the police had yet to take action. Since the police remained ineffective, the case was handed over to the SBI. The presenter was also aware of this and was closely monitoring everything. On the other hand, another plan was being devised with Katia. Sasha and Dona planned to deceive the presenter, making him believe that escaping from there meant certain death. They decided that when the captors came to take them, instead of being killed, they would seize their guns and escape. However, the presenter overheard their plan and summoned Katia to his office. In this section, the challenge of locating people was discussed. There was mention of a person who wanted to become famous by influencing others to be like him, attracting those who enjoyed cruelty. A media conference with FBI officials was mentioned, where they admitted their embarrassment over failing to track the person's location, but assured they would capture him soon. The presenter was also noted to be closely listening to the press conference. Finally, it was mentioned that someone arrived home to find a surprise, his wife discovering something unexpected. Let me know if you need any modifications or further refinements. Here is the English version of your script. Because he had been deeply affected, His wife suspected that Ben was not happy with her sister and daughter. The presenter showed pictures of 4 people and announced that he was going to kill them. This was an attempt to threaten the police and give them an opportunity to act. The police began tracking the movements of those targeted by this person. When Ben arrived at his office, the media surrounded him. The presenter watched a video of Ben. This section tells the story of the chief and why an ordinary police officer was so interested in this case. It is revealed that Ben's mother and sister were brutally murdered, and he was unable to save them. The chief deeply regrets this incident and is now on a mission to save innocent lives in order to overcome his grief. He was the one who had the people kidnapped whom the presenter had threatened the previous day, including a young girl who was a viewer of the show. In this section, the show's presenter explained that if someone joins this game, they are no longer a fan of the show but become its prey and will be treated like other participants. The presenter then informed the audience about today's game, where participants would throw balls at each other while trying to avoid being hit. If someone was hit by a ball, they would lose. The game then began, with participants throwing balls at each other, and several people lost. This section details the presenter's attempt to threaten Ben. The presenter had learned about Ben, so he openly mentioned his name on the show, knowing that the police were watching. He informed both the viewers and the police that the previous day, a major contestant had broken the rules, putting both their lives in danger. However, Ben had the chance to save one life if he made a choice. Everyone urged Ben not to choose, but the presenter warned that if he didn't, both would die. To save at least one life, Ben made an immediate decision. Let me know if you need any modification. Here is the English version of your script. This section mentions an incident where a girl was in second place and her button was pressed. After that, she was shot and killed. The details remain unclear. This part contains unknown words and phrases that make it difficult to understand. The word projector is repeated multiple times. In the final section, someone recalls that they last mentioned this to a worker. The conversation ends abruptly and incompletely. In this section, the final moments of the game are shown. When Ben started shooting at the enemies, the security guards retaliated, killing 2 gamers. Ben hid Katia and moved forward, finding the presenter sitting in a room. The presenter challenged him, saying that if he had the courage, he should shoot him. Without hesitation, Ben shot the presenter. However, when he removed the mask, he realized it wasn't the presenter, but an innocent girl who had been trapped in a setup, while the presenter had already escaped. This section discusses the final scene of the movie. In the post-credit scene, the presenter is shown in an afternoon setting, revealing that he is about to launch Season 2. This news excites the audience, while it presents a new challenge for the police. The story ends at this point. Let me know if you need any changes.